Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? It is Monday, May 6th. So yeah, the Trump trial is still going on. I'm not going to really talk about that today. I wanted to talk to y'all about health because my daughter just went through being sick, and she's doing much better. Back to work today, so she had flu, I guess, but she got a lot of medication, and she's doing great. She's doing really good. She's feeling a lot better, and back to work. So I have another daughter that she's been trying to lose weight, and she has been on one of these GLP-1 medications that you inject weekly. And she has lost weight. She had lost weight actually before that just by going on low carb diet. But she decided to try this route also because she's hungry all the time, and she wanted something to help her with her hunger and all that. So she started on this. I think she's been on it for a couple of months now. But I think she's taken Wegovy. Wegovy, not the Ozempic, but Wegovy. I believe that's the one she's doing. Let me tell you guys, she is so uncomfortable. She has got major digestion issues. It slows down your digestion so much till you are constipated. She is so uncomfortable. Her stomach is distended uh, so far that it's putting pressure on her just to breathe. So she's super uncomfortable. Last week she skipped the injection because she's just like, oh, I'm gonna, take a break. But she was still constipated. She's, my husband gave her some tamarine. Have y'all ever seen tamarine? He got it from the import store. A lot of people use it to cook with, so it's concentrated tamarine that comes in a little square. And he said, "You eat some of this." He gave it to her last night, and he said, "You're gonna go," and she did. So, more information than you want to know. But just to tell you guys, this medication, don't fool around with it. It's so much better to lose weight naturally and slowly. This everything that you take, it has a side effect. It's interfering with your normal body's functioning, so it does have side effects. So y'all, please be careful if any of you are taking it. um, you know Try to do fasting and low carb. It'll work much more efficient. You'll be healthier in the long run for it. So my husband, I'm trying to keep him on a low carb diet. And on Sundays, which was yesterday, I tell him, you can eat what you want on Sundays because, I mean, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. And if he doesn't have something to look forward to, I think he'll just blow it. He'll just say, the hell with this. I'm just going to eat what I want to and let the cards fall as they will. Because food is important to this man. But he's very insulin resistant, and he doesn't seem to understand that. So I've started testing my blood too, just to show him the difference between our levels of glucose in our body, so that he has something to compare it to. So actually on Saturday night, he had taken out some sweet bread that he wanted to eat for Sunday. So he'd taken it out of the freezer and let it thaw out, and it was on the counter. And y'all, I wanted some of that sweetbread so bad. And I've been trying to control myself in front of him, because when he sees me eating something, he's like, well, I want something too. I'm not a diabetic. I could eat a little bit of this and it's not going to do nothing. But he's not. So I try not to eat nothing in front of him, but he had put that out on the counter. And so I cut me a piece of it, and he said, give me some of that too. I want some. So I gave him some also. He would have gotten up and gotten it himself. Next morning, his glucose reading, which had been 105, 110, it went up to 120, which it's not too bad, but still it was a lot higher than it's been. And we don't want to go in the wrong direction. that being said, I just said, that's from the sweetbread that you ate. And, he gets mad. He starts yelling and getting mad at me. And I said, I'm just pointing it out that your glucose is going up because of not good choices. That's not a good choice. To have that at night for your going to sleep, that wasn't a good choice. Anyway, we had spaghetti for his free day. That's what he wanted. He wanted Iranian spaghetti, and the way that you make it, it's kind of like baked spaghetti because you parboil the spaghetti or al dente, and then you layer it back in a pot and it steams all together. And it's a little bit more drier. It's not like wet spaghetti like it, but it's a little drier like baked spaghetti. It's so good, y'all. It's really, really good. And that's what he wanted. And there's potatoes on the bottom of the pot too. So you get these, you slice potatoes in half put oil on the bottom, and they cook on the bottom while it's being steamed all together. It's really yummy. So he had spaghetti, that's a carb, and he had potatoes, that's a carb. And and then I had bought a pie because all my kids came over. If I'm going to cook on Sundays, I want everybody to come over and enjoy it. And since we're only, eating like Iranian food once a week, I had everybody come over. So I bought a pie, a key lime pie. I wanted chocolate really bad, but I didn't buy any chocolate for myself. I was resisting, but I did put it out there that I had a really strong craving for some Hershey's chocolate. It's my favorite chocolate. And so both my daughters bought me chocolate and brought it. So here I am, I'm eating chocolate. I've had key lime pie, I've had spaghetti, and I didn't have any garlic bread. I did not make garlic bread. I made a salad to go with the spaghetti. I didn't want to have too many carbs, So I offered no bread to anybody, no bread. Anyway, it didn't really help that much anyway. So about 2 hours after we had eaten, everybody went home. It was a little after 9 o'clock at night, something like that. We ate relatively early, around 7, so everybody had gone home. And my husband said, I'm just going to check my blood sugar. I'm just going to check it and see what it is. It's been 2 hours since we ate. Let's see what it is. Because he was feeling like, it ain't going to be too bad. And he didn't eat any sugar. He didn't eat a piece of pie. They brought donuts, these kids. They brought chocolate and everything, and he didn't touch it. He did not touch it. He was a really good boy, but he ate spaghetti, and he ate a good helping of spaghetti and potatoes on the bottom. So he checked his blood sugar, and it was 160. And I'm like, that's not good. That's spiked up. It's still spiked up, and you ate 2 hours ago. That's not good. And he said, well, let's check yours. You've been eating sugar and, everything. I had a piece of candy in my mouth. I'm spitting. I'm getting all excited. I still had candy in my mouth. I was still eating because they brought me those little hugs, those chocolate Hershey's. I think they're called hugs. Those are so good, y'all. Anyway, I had one in my mouth, and I'm like, okay, check my blood sugar. Well, my blood sugar was 102. So it was a little bit higher, but it was still very normal. He had checked my blood sugar in the morning. So his, that morning, the next morning, his was, this morning, it was 158. His blood sugar was still high, 158 from that spaghetti this morning. And I told him, no breakfast for you. You just need a fast, because if you're insulin resistant, only thing you can really do is fast and then low carb it. So I told him, don't eat any breakfast. I will feed you some lunch. And for lunch, I gave him a sausage with sauerkraut. So sauerkraut, we're trying to get his gut health in good standing. So he had a sausage and some sauerkraut and some of the leftover salad from last night. He would only eat the tomatoes and cucumbers. He hates lettuce. So, but that's good. That was fine. So, and then I gave him a little yogurt a protein yogurt for dessert. So that was good, and he didn't complain or anything, and we haven't checked his insulin, his glucose level since he's eaten, but hopefully it'll come down. But that just goes to show you he is very insulin resistant, and he's taking metformin too, and that's even with taking metformin. It was just, and he was really surprised that my blood sugar was only 102, and I ate a bunch of sugar. I still had candy in my mouth. But I'm not a diabetic, and so I told him, I said, "You see, you are a diabetic. You cannot eat the way I can eat. And I shouldn't eat like that because it's not healthy, So that's why I will not do that again next Sunday. I will not eat sugar again next Sunday. I'm not going to do that every week. But I did do it this time. I needed that chocolate. You ladies know what I mean. You need chocolates. You just need chocolate sometimes. And then next Sunday is Mother's Day. So what are y'all going to do for Mother's Day? My husband keeps asking me, what do you want for Mother's Day? What do you want? Because on my birthday, he didn't do anything. He didn't, he said, do you want me to make a steak? And I'm like, no, because I'm eating meat all the time. I'm low carbing it and eating meat all the time. If you said, would you like a bag of chips for your birthday? I would say yes. But he was like, do you want a steak? I'm like, no, I don't want a steak, because if that would require me to do a lot of work. He would want me to, fry onions and mushrooms and fried potatoes and all kinds of stuff to go with it. And I was like, no, it's my birthday. I'm not cooking. I am not cooking. I did end up cooking anyway because there was nothing to eat. So I made bacon and eggs. We had breakfast for my birthday. And my kids were all telling him, shame on you. So he's telling me, what do you want for Mother's Day? And I'm saying, it don't work like that. You understand? You don't say, hey, go get me this for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is if you love somebody, you want to do something for them, you do something for them. If you don't want to, don't. I'm not going to dictate to you what I want and what. I don't understand how he doesn't know how to do this yet. I think I have just always, made dinner for everybody. If it's Mother's Day, I make dinner for everybody. If it's my birthday, I'll make dinner for everybody. And he's used to me doing that. But this time I was like, I'm not making nothing. I don't want to. So it didn't go right. So what are you going to do for Mother's Day? I will not go out to eat on Mother's Day because it will be hellacious. You'll just be waiting in lines at a, restaurant. I'm not doing it. No way. I won't. I'll stay home. Maybe my daughter is going to have Mother's Day for the family because we're all mothers, She's going to have Mother's Day on the 19th. Because her daughter's coming home from school, and both her kids will be there, and then she'll honor me also, and she's asked me, so she's going to make a dinner served out on her deck on the 19th. So we may just wait till then to do any kind of thing. I have my ex-son-in-law that's offered to make me a brisket for Mother's Day. I might let him do that. I may say, that sounds good. I love brisket, y'all. That's one of my favorite meats. I'm not that fond of eating a steak, but a brisket, I love Texas brisket. That is delicious. So might let him do that. He sent me a message last night and said, I got a brisket with your name on it. Let me know what day you want it. So I'm thinking Mother's Day. I think that'd be a good time to bring that brisket by. So we'll see. So I hope you guys are planning something for Mother's Day and also honoring your mothers and honoring the people that you love that are around you that are mothers, honor them. If there's not somebody in their life that's honoring them, or you can tell their children, you need to honor your mother, do something nice for your mom. Some kids need a kick in the butt. So give them a little kick in the pants. Tell them it's Mother's Day. And you need to honor your mom. I might have to do that for my grandson. So it's prom season right now. My grandson went to prom. He is a junior. He'll be graduating from high school next year. So he went to prom this year. I think it's his first time to go to prom. And we got all the pictures and everything. It was so wonderful to see them all dressed up and in a suit, and the girl in a beautiful, she wore a hunter green gown, and he had a green tie that matched it. They looked so wonderful. It's just so nice to see young ones going through all these, things that we've all gone through too. It's unbelievable that my grandson's 17 years old. He's going to be 18 in December. My granddaughter that's coming home from college, she will be this June 21. So I have one that is going to be 24, and this one will be 21, and then a 17-year-old. And we have a 15-year-old too. He'll be 15 this June. So he's going to start looking for driver's ed. he's not real like he's not real excited about driving, but I don't know why he's not real excited about driving. I guess some kids are slower than others. Um, and I saw that with my three children also. One of them, like, I can't wait. I want to get out of here as quick as I can. And then the other one, kind of, I'm not ready yet. I'll just wait. So I understand how that works out. But you'd think as a boy he'd want to have some freedom, but he's not there yet. But that's good. That's okay. We don't need him to grow up too quickly. And it is the end of a school year again. Can you all believe it? The kids will be out of school. So my granddaughter, she comes home on the 15th, and I think the kids are out of school on the 23rd of May. So it's end of school again, once again. And what are you going to do for the summer? What are you going to do with your kids for the summer? So my grandson, my oldest one that I was telling you about that went to prom, he has signed up for a summer camp at the Naval Academy because he's trying to decide what school, what university he wants to go with. So he's going to go to this camp for 1 week at the Naval Academy. It's very exciting, and I hope he doesn't join the Naval Academy. I really don't want him to join the military. I don't know. I feel weird about that. I know that we need to defend our country at some times, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't want my son or grandson, to sign up for the Naval Academy. I don't know. He's going to do whatever he feels like he's going to do. I haven't, put my input with it, but he plays the trombone in the band, and I think he's going to end up going to A&M because he's going to stay in the band, and they have a great band there, and he'll have a very good experience. My daughter and my ex-son-in-law both graduated from A&M, so it's not far from us either. It's like 3.5 hours away, so he can come home on the weekends if he wanted to. So hopefully he'll decide to go there. I know you guys have kids that are graduating and trying to make that decision, or they're getting to a point where they need to, look at where they're going to go to school at and where they're going to get their degree from. And yeah, it's very exciting. It's wonderful to see them just flourish. And he's a very, very good student. He really pushes himself. He makes straight A's. So, he can get into any place that he wants to get into. He's got a very high GPA, and he can go to school anywhere he wants to. So I just hope it's a good fit for him and he's happy doing that. So, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? Here it's stopped raining, but it's still very, very humid. It's really warm. It's 80 degrees outside. I don't have the air conditioner on, but it's starting to get really muggy, and I think I will probably be putting on the air conditioner within a day or two because the mugginess is just terrible. It's just so oppressive. So hopefully, I think we're going to get some more rain too. I think there's some more rain in the forecast. I hope you guys that have experienced too much rain, I hope the rain stops for you guys. I hope the weather just settles down a little bit. The bad thing about the weather settling down is it gets super hot. And we do want a little bit of wind, but not too much, right? We don't want tornadoes and we don't want floods, but we need rain. It's either feast or famine, right? We either have too much or too little. So hopefully this bad weather pattern that we're in, being spring and all that, it'll calm down now. So we're getting towards the end of spring, so it should settle down a bit. I did see a little bit of what happened to Trump this morning when he walked into trial this morning into the courtroom. He got, a little bit of peace of the mind of the judge, evidently. So this was like the 10th time he violated the gag order and basically was told, you're going to go to jail. You don't stop this. I'm not going to have any choice but to send you to jail. So you think he's going to stop? Now he's gotten a little quieter. That is true. He hasn't been mouthing off as much as he was, but I don't know if he can control himself. Basically, the reason why we haven't heard as much from him is because he's been in the courtroom sitting. The more freedom he has, the more he'll run his mouth. What do y'all think? Y'all think he's going to be able to keep his mouth shut? Do you think he's afraid of going to jail? I can tell you, he doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to, have his rights taken away like that. But he will push things to the line. It's like, I dare you to put me in jail. I dare you. And that's the way that he's worked his whole life. He's just takes things right to the edge, like he acts like there's not going to be any consequences from him, but times are changing for Trump and there are going to be consequences for him, definitely. I do feel that Biden will be reelected. And yes, a lot of people are saying he's so old. Yes, he is very old. And you can tell, the way that he's walking. He walks like an elderly man. He is elderly. But his mental IQ, he's mentally sound. You don't have to worry about his mental fitness. Everything's there, and he's loving and kind and good, and he wants the best for our country. So that's, to me, there's no choice but to choose Biden, of course. And just because somebody is older and they're getting more frail, they're having a little trouble walking, does that mean that they're not fit? Does that mean they're not fit? I don't think so. I don't think that means they're not fit. I wish he was in better condition. I wish his body was in better condition, but it is what it is, At least he's kind, good, and loving. He wants to restore our rights, and that's the only way that we're going to do this is by having a Democrat president to restore all the women's right and reverse, all these things that have happened, overturning Roe versus Wade. And there's so many rights that are being taken away. So we really need to have that codified. So we need to have Democrats in the House, in the Senate, and in the presidency. Democrats have got to win this election all across the board. And that's the only way that we're going to save democracy. That's it. And if you care about your future for your children, for your females, for the girls in your family, that they can receive health care, that they should. I mean, do you hear all the stories that are out there? Horrific stories of women that have babies that are dying inside them or have extreme health problems and will not be able to, live outside the womb, and they can't get an abortion. Uh, some of them, it's making some of the women ill, and they cannot get an abortion. They have to run to another state. You know what's going to happen if this doesn't change? People will be going to Mexico. They'll just be going to Mexico and going outside the country and going having this done. And then, you know, it's scary to do those things. It's really scary not to be able to receive health care in your own country. You know, a lot of people are doing that already. There are a lot of people that go get dental work and go get health care in Mexico, because I live right here on the border in South Texas, and I'm telling you, many people go and get dental care in Mexico. It's so much cheaper. You know, they can have everything done in a fraction of the what it costs here in the United States, here in Texas. So that's what will happen. You know, people will start just crossing the border for it. And can you believe that Trump said he wanted to track pregnant women, track them and see if they deliver their babies? They want to track them? What are we? Are we animals? Is that what are we breeding? Are we breeding farm animals now? I don't get it. Why would you let somebody take your rights away? Why would anybody vote for that man and let women's rights be taken away? I don't get it. I don't understand that. It seems very, very simple to me. Very simple. I don't understand why all the people in the House and Senate, why the Republicans are behind him. This is a non-starter for them. This is going to make them lose elections. You know, women will stand together. We're all going to unite together, and we're going to change this. So get out. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, and let's get this done. Let's get this done so we don't have to fool around with this Trump and this nonsense anymore. Let's get the House Democrat. Let's get the Senate Democrat. It is, but we need more. We need more than winning by, a vote or two. We need to crush it. We need to crush it. And we will. We will, because for the love of each other, we're going to stand up for each other, right? And do the right thing. So I've been doing lots of healing sessions. I love doing them. I've done so many of them. I even do them on the weekends, y'all. I used to say, I'm not going to do it on the weekends, but when somebody emails me and says, I have a problem, I need some help, I will go and help them. I'm like, okay, let me spend, I can spend half an hour and do a healing session for them, no problem. So if you feel like you need a healing session, you have a loved one that could use a healing session, chakra balancing, energy cleanse, I feel like when you do it all together, you get a much, much better outcome, because I've come to believe that when you want to do when you want to do a healing session, first you should do an energy release. So you want to release everything that's no longer serving a person, anything that may be blocking or an imbalance that will block any healing coming through, and balance the chakras. Everything goes hand in hand. So do everything all together and you have a much, much better outcome. I know, like my daughter, like I was saying, I know she had already turned a corner. I'd done a healing session for her, and she did get her, medication, and that helped too. Everything helps, you guys. Medication helps. Going to the doctor helps. Having a healing session helps. Everything goes hand in hand and can work together. Just like diet and exercise works. You take medication, but you need your diet and exercise too. Everything goes together. So if you feel you need a healing session or could use one, or you have a loved one that's in need, please look down below, email me, and we'll get together and do that. Also, if you would like to have a reading, I'm available for tarot readings also. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. Bye for now.